First, let me express our gratitude for all civilized nations for helping Ukraine for all these months, but actually the war started in 2014. So I think it's really important in case of protracted war scenario or long-term war scenario to have the strategic patience, understanding and support to win over Russian totalitarianism. And of course, I think the candidate status for Ukraine and Moldova is a powerful geopolitical signal that Ukraine is not anymore the buffer zone or Ukraine-Moldova countries in between. So actually, this is a very powerful message also to Kremlin regime that EU is becoming a geopolitical player. But also, I think it's really important to help Ukraine to win faster. So no doubt that Ukraine is winning and will win the war. 95% of the population strongly believe that this time, the historical time, that even God's purpose to help Ukraine to win. So the question is how to help Ukraine to win faster. So actually I'm very thankful to Rammstein coalition and US leadership for providing us with weapons. We need more. And regarding the Marshall Plan or reconstruction recovery plan for Ukraine, we need probably similar Rammstein recovery plan coalition when it will be not just transatlantic, but also countries like Japan, Australia could join to help Ukraine to become a successful model. Because here, Ukraine's victory is geopolitically, strategically important for the whole world to stop totalitarianism, authoritarian regimes. It's important for countries in Indo-Pacific region. It's important for our neighbors like Georgia and Moldova because it's their historical chance to restore territorial integrity and sovereignty. It's also important for people living in Belarus and fighting with Lukashenko dictator. So, but it's also important for our people because we faced a genocide, man-made famine organized by Stalin last century. So we survived, and now the genocidal war, which is happening every hour in Ukraine, and especially in occupied territories like Kherson Oblast, atrocities, war crimes, rapes of kids, it's happening when we are sitting here. So this is why I'm really very thankful to Congress and you, Steve Cohen, for your initiative to recognize Russian war against Ukraine as a genocide. And actually Russia should be recognized as a state sponsor of terrorism. Because what they are doing, it's nuclear terror by occupying the biggest Zaporizhia nuclear power plant. What they are doing, weaponizing the export of food. This is how they are threatening the whole world with famine. Also, they are weaponizing war crimes also. So I think it's really important for all of us to help Ukraine to win faster because as Prime Minister of Belgium mentioned, that also this inflation rates. And also, I think we have to explain the societies at the European continent, in the US and globally, why it's in the interest of the whole world that Ukraine is winning this war. And regarding the recovery plan, I think for short-term strategy, the more weapons we receive, the better our, and we have more advantages to deoccupy recently grabbed territories and stop war there. Also, it's important to prepare for winter season. Thank you for mentioning 5 billion per month to cover budget deficit. But in winter, I know that one of the idea of Putin and his people like Patrushev to use the practice from last century, Holodomor, when they will be deliberately attacking the state resource of grain and actually deliberately attacking heating system just before cold coming like -degrees. So just 2 weeks ago I visited Washington with the secretary of Chernihiv City Council. 100,000 people returned to Chernihiv. And they are asking a question to mayor and the secretary. Do we have some guarantees that this coming winter season we are protected? And what should we do if Russia destroy heating system, water supply, and others? So I think this is the questions we have to answer. So first, we have to fix and to stabilize the cities which are under Ukrainian control, like having air defense system, not allowing Russian to combine Holodomor approach and Kolodomor, cold, like freezing our citizens. And actually, this is key to help us with more weapons. And during this period, I'm very thankful that there are working groups, and we are preparing for Lugano conference, where our government will present their recovery plan. But the faster we win, the better chances for international business to bring investment and actually to help to rebuild Ukraine. And we have a vision how to rebuild Ukraine, because Russians are destroying our residential building, critical infrastructure, but they cannot destroy our dreams. Dreams about strong Ukraine with dignity. And even you mentioned Russia, which is, I think, really important. There will be tomorrow a panel, Russia after Putin. But I could say that victory of Ukraine is crucially important for Russian society, which has to pay reparations for us, like Nazi Germany after the World War II. An international tribunal should be in place. But I think it's also important for indigenous people living at the Russian territory, which are under persecution. And victory of Ukraine is a way to de-imperialize Russia. It's not about the change of Putin regime. It's about how to change the imperialistic nature of Russian statehood. Because from Peter the Great, it's 300 years ago, when he was renaming Moscovia, still in the name of Rus, then Soviet Union Empire, and now current Russia. So we have to change this imperialistic nature of Russian statehood, and this is the only way to go. And Putin and Russian regime, and they are afraid of successful Ukraine. So Marshall Plan is an instrument to make Ukraine a successful story for everyone, successful story for democracy. It's really important, the question we always raised in the US, in UK, in the EU, about confiscation and legal instruments, because it's one of the key questions for us to have funds. But also, how to maintain public support. I think it's really important to keep doing what we are doing, fighting, winning the war, explaining Western societies the price, because actually Ukraine victory is preventing devastation moving beyond Ukrainian borders. So actually, give us weapons, we will do the job. We are not requesting like American or UK troops. And what is really mentioned, you mentioned unity, which is really important, not just within the EU, because we were a little bit disappointed with this sixth package and why it couldn't happen earlier. Even the Nord Stream 2 deal, actually we could avoid this. But the question is now even like sanctioning Kirill, who serves the evil. You know, this orthodox, I would not even say leader, actually. And why? UK imposed sanctions, EU and US not. And also, I think bravery is needed. We are talking about a long-term solution to deblocate Black Sea and to avoid the hunger threat. But where is bravery? What we've seen last year with UK defender, UK Royal Navy defender. Remember what UK did last year in the Black Sea. Actually, we have to defend the freedom of navigation, because what Russia is occupying now in the Black Sea is a size of South Korea, more than 130 square kilometers. Can you imagine this big size? Why Turkey, US, UK, Romania, Bulgaria, and other NATO countries allowed Russians to monopolize, to control the Black Sea and turn into the Russian lake? So the bravery we have to demonstrate, because the success would have been happen if we avoid the full-scale war, and not now to think how to prevent a food crisis, energy crisis, and others. So this is like we Ukrainians are fighting every day. Yesterday I was praying and saying, thank you God, because two of my friends, one in the battlefield, it was like 100 meters the rocket, and second in Kiev, he was also sending me pictures what happened with his flat. So, but we are every day taking risk of our lives, but we will do this because it's in the interest of not just Ukraine's existential war. It's about existence of democracy, and this is why bravery, unity is key to not just to stop, to punish, but to guarantee that never again totalitarian regime will never attack any sovereign state in any continent of our beautiful planet.